The language that we really speak in the studio is emotions. We have emotional goals, and then we look to use environment arts, animation, music, particle effects. They all come together to highlight these feelings that we're going after. And it is, design plus the technology to support it, narrative, having to work in concert.
You never asked why I was after the kitsune. Because you were there.
I tried to save you.
And my mother? What did you do for her? Nothing. You watched as he...
I am not your enemy, Atsu. Regain your strength. And meet me here. I'll prove it.
This was an incredibly important scene for Atsu. She spent so many years seeking revenge against the Yōtei Six, and finally she discovers that one of these people is one of the people she's actually been working with, who's been lying to her and betrayed her trust, and was there the night her mother was killed. And so she's really just reacting in the moment to this. She's heavily drugged from a poisonous toxin that is forcing her to just sit there and take it in, and she can't confront Yuki viscerally quite yet, but she wants to. So she's just grappling with it. It hit her like a wave, and she's processing it and figuring out what she's going to do next.
We set up in this nighttime. You feel the darkness, the cold is all surround you. And the campfire in this here, it's giving you a little bit warmth, kind of have a hint of something is changing, something new, but it's not overly warm. You see there's a muted tone of a yellow is around them and give enough of light to tell the story. But the most bigger thing is the endless darkness surround them, feel the unknown around them.
This is about two people talking about who they are to each other, and you want to keep it simple so that the enormity of the revelation can take center stage.
I thought you didn't want to fight.
And I thought you did.
You said if I killed you, I'd be doing Saito a favor.
Only if you didn't learn what I had to teach you. You have. It's time to take your revenge.
Atsu has a strong connection with her mother and lost her when she was young in this traumatic fashion. And then when she finally meets Oyuki, there's just a lot of shades of her mother that she sees in this woman, who also conducts herself in a proper manner, who plays the shamisen, this musical instrument that her mother also played, that her mother taught her to play. And so much of what her mother also taught her about playing music was that it speaks to people we've lost. And so we really relied on that musical connection with Oyuki, with Atsu's mother, to connect all these characters and to invite Atsu essentially to think about her past and the people she loved and lost, while talking with the person Oyuki, who actually was there and was partially responsible for her mother's death. So it's a complex moment, but it was really important to us to portray Oyuki in a way that would evoke memories of Atsu's mother.
One of the things I'm really proud of in that sequence, and I think this is Sucker Punch really at our best, is that there is a strong narrative connection to what's going on. Player has feelings about Oyuki and what she's done to Atsu. And of course, as a player, you think of yourself as Atsu. But then you start to fight with Oyuki, and the combat flashes, and Oyuki becomes the kitsune. And you're thinking about how Atsu would feel against the kitsune, but then it's Oyuki again. So through interactivity, you get to experience these quick changes in perspective and feeling that reflect what's going on in Atsu's heart. Sprinkle in a few quick flashbacks to a traumatic moment, the moment that really set her off in her hatred of the kitsune with her mom's death. And then through interactivity, see your mother again as a child and be able to approach her. These things are all mixed together through interactivity that the player gets to participate in. And I believe this is what makes for a great video game. We're here to make an interactive experience. And this is interactivity married with narrative.
So for the Atsu's always have this color theme carry her through this whole game, which is yellow. And then the bigger thing is because her home have that big yellow ginkgo tree, like a big umbrella covering her home. It's a kind of almost like a showing the safety of her house. And then during that night, and she lost everything, and then include the tree was burned to the ash. So yellow leaves falling down become to the ash, become to the ember, and then fly that away. And then she was got painted on that tree. And so the yellow color is always something we want to carry through this whole game. Give you that little dots, you can connecting things together. When we become to this scene with Oyuki, and she's living in this area, it's the cold, so snowy, and then the white. And we also build another tree around here is yellow leaves and have all the yellow leaves falling down. And then the fire is another red, orange color, and the ash was burning. That's another element is we want to going to show around here, because that's what she remembers. She struggled. She even have a nightmare of this. And so those are all the elements is give us really good of a playground we can start with. So we know right off the bat, we want to have a yellow leaves flying. And then the snow and the ash have some common can share together. When she got this toxin in her mind, and then you literally see the snow was floating in the air. So I'm kind of blending with the ash, that kind of feeling. And then so player will be understand she's in that toxin mode. Fire is another intense moment into showing her emotion and showing her fear, and also another memory part stuff she really want to go into facing. So that combined together give us the visual, the switching, the changing, and the player can feel about what is happening to her the moment.
By setting it here as this huge showdown in the cemetery as well, we really wanted to evoke that sense of, what do we do when we visit graves? We're remembering and connecting with the people from our past and the people we've lost. And that's what Atsu is doing through this showdown as she's suffering from this toxin. It's taking her back to the nightmarish memory of how her mother died, and she needs to confront that memory and also reconnect with her mother and find closure within it. So it's really evoking that strong sense of reconnecting with the past and reconnecting with the ghosts from our past.
The tree and the grave, also some of the symbolism to show the somber, the sadness of Atsu is having, and then with the white snow flooding everywhere and kind of blending everything together. And this is what we want to going to show. So when you're fighting, you can see the particle moving, you can see the snow click up, fly it off, and then leaves fly off, and that will all building the world field is all alive.
Because you're surrounded by these memories of dead people, and it's kind of where this is the end, right?
Yeah.
It gets you to think about Oyuki and her acceptance of what could very well be coming down the line for her because of Atsu's burning anger. And it just highlights this question of what is Atsu going to do to this woman who so thoroughly wronged her in the past. While working on this scene, Erika Ishii, who plays Atsu, and Jeannie Bollet, who plays Oyuki, were actually in a motion capture stage, and they got to physically perform the scene while doing the audio as well. And you can feel the tension between them in this moment because they're playing off each other. I recall us taking real strides to simplify the scene down so that it just became that much more emotional as Oyuki surrenders herself to Atsu's judgment, and the moment of Atsu kind of breaking and saying, I can forgive the innkeeper's daughter, that there's a physical kind of change, a sense of relief that is obviously cemented when she gets lifted up with a helping hand. We rely on these actors to bring these moments into life with their real immediate emotions. And you can see it in the game thanks to motion capture technology, that these performances can have such nuance. And we're grateful to the contribution of actors who are good at their craft, who can make these moments so alive.
Leading up to this scene, Atsu's been spending a lot of time processing those emotions of betrayal and grappling with the idea that she wants and needs to get revenge against the people who killed her family. But she's also spent time getting to know Oyuki as a person and seeing the world from her perspective, and also learning that she, like Atsu, is a victim of the Yōtei Six in her own way. So she's been expanding how she knows how to think about Oyuki and who this person is, and to connect with her in that way and see their similarities. And we still wanted to honor Atsu's anger and that feeling of betrayal as she confronts her, even in this final moment. But through going through that, through reconnecting with this memory of her own mother's death, and seeing and recognizing how Oyuki did try to help as much as she could 16 years ago when that happened, she is able to reach a point where she accepts Oyuki for what she's done. And even she says in that scene, she might forgive her. So even here, it's an act of mercy, but not fully complete forgiveness yet. But she's on that journey, and she's learned to trust and to work towards forgiveness in a way that just a short time earlier she didn't know, because she was so fixated on revenge.
So the whole this sequence is start from cloudy time of day, and then Atsu was walking to this battle, and she don't know what she was facing. She don't know what it end up she were going to become too. And then we have this whole fight started with Oyuki, and then you gather that toxin, and you even get into this weird moment. You don't know, what are you facing? You have the anger, and all the surrounding, all the environment effects, the lighting is building up. You can feel the heat is going up and up. And then to this last moment, and Atsu is be the toxin in her body, and in the same time, you can see the sun is peeking through the cloud and shining on her face. Feels she is let go, and the color of the scene become too much peaceful. Is bright white with yellow leaves flowing. Remember in the earlier scene, we have Atsu play the shamisen with her mother, is also have that tree in the background, have the leaves was very peacefully soft flowing down to the ground. This is another moment. You have the tree in the background, you have the leaves flowing, that soft feeling, and to give the emotion, everything is supporting for the narrative, for the story, and for the changing moment is coming. So the weather, the lighting is all changing along the way with the whole sequence, how the story is changing.
While we're working out this moment, it took on a lot of different permutations before we could find the exact right way to do it. This is an incredible turning point for Atsu, who has spent the last 16 years of her life training her body and her skills to get revenge on the Yōtei Six, to suddenly find herself in a position she would never, ever have guessed she could be in, where she has some sympathy or an understanding for a member of the Yōtei Six. It's monumental. It's her really altering her worldview. And we knew that it had to be done with a lot of grace, and it has to build in a way that the emotions all feel very, very true. And so different concepts for how to make that happen, we batted around, trying our best to figure out a way to put the player in the middle of it.